Yeah. How's it going? Kat, I'm really sorry we're going to miss you this week. I hope you have a chance to catch it on the replay. For all of you here on Replay Crew, please leave me a comment. I never get to see you guys, and I don't know you've come back. So just, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you thought of the book so far. Just, say hi, howdy. It's kind of nice sometimes. I like getting the comments, I have to admit. So, it's been a Hey, Paolo. Hola, ¿cómo está? It is good to see you. Thank you for the flowers. Hey, Scooter Mom. How are you? It's good to see you. Paolo, you flatter me, and I'll let you keep doing it. It's quite lovely. Thank you. Thank you. So, a little extra pain. I am sorry, Scooter Mom. Hey, Susan. I am sorry you're having extra pain. I am doing Hey, Cricket. I am doing pretty good. A very, 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 very dear friend called this morning, and we haven't had time to catch up in quite some time. She's got 3 teenagers, and well, 3 teenagers and a toddler. So she is busy, busy, busy. And she just had the baby this morning. Everybody else was out of the house, and she only lives about 10 minutes away. So I rushed over and we had tea and the cinnamon rolls that her teenager made. It was just a lovely, lovely time. She is the first friend I made when I moved to Portland. We met in community college back when she wasn't even sure what she wanted to do with her life and was still trying to figure it out. And now she's got her master's and is a therapist and is just a great mom. I'm so proud to be her friend. And it was so nice. We had 3 or 4 hours just to sit and chat. She was really curious about the treatment, and she feels like she's noticed a difference in me too. So I talked to her about the differences you guys had noticed, and she said it felt similar to her, that my tone was different, calmer, more relaxed, more open. I don't know, all those things. So that was my day. It was a bit of a surprise, but a welcome one, a very welcome surprise. And then I came home. My tone is chill. Yeah, I feel pretty chill. I came home and brain fog went live. So I hung out and modded for her. Um, Chatted some with my husband, took care of some things around the house. Yeah, It's been a day. It's been a day. It's really interesting now going out into the world because going back out into the world and doing different things after the treatment, they feel they feel different. Um, and it's really hard to put my finger on how they feel different. But it is an interesting difference. Okay, guys, so I made we talked about doing 3 chapters last week, and so I made an error when I put up the live and did 4 chapters because 22, 23, 24, and 25 is 4 chapters, not 3. Hi, Indigo. Thank you. So, my question before we get started is, does therapy feel different? Cricket, that's going to be a hard one to answer. I had therapy last week. I'm not sure how different it felt. I think that being able to talk about things that hurt, um, be more being being more insulated from the pain of the memories or the automatic negative thoughts, um, having fewer of those and having them be less painful would certainly help therapy. Our insurance is changing, and our new insurance isn't going to be covering therapy. So it may be, um, we're not going to have therapy while we have this new insurance. So uh, we're working on resolving that. But in the interim, um, I'm not I'm not going to know because I'm not going to be in therapy. I'm sorry, Cricket. That's a roundabout answer with probably much more information than you needed. Um, the answer is yeah, I think it would. I just don't know how much of a chance I'm going to get to answer your question right now, unfortunately. So, my question to y'all is, did all of y'all get all 4 chapters read? Is that something that y'all did? Because I am totally game to go through all 4 chapters, but I want to check and see if everybody read all 4 chapters. Okay, Scooter Mom did. Yeah, I read them all. The chapters go pretty easily. I just only intended to go up to 3 chapters, and like I said, 22 to 25, that's 3, right? No, you gotta count that differently when you include the doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Anybody else wanna weigh in? If I don't get any nays, then I will assume that everybody's done the readings. And we will pop on through. You only did 2, got a little sidetracked. You're fine either way? Okay, well, let's see how far we get, okay? We can just see how far we get. You forgot your book, you're behind? Okay. So we begin chapter 22 after she's having all these sec checks. She's gone through all these sec checks, and now she's being sent home to INT, which is not where she wants to be because Martino is not there. None of her friends are there. Nothing is there. So that's the scene that we begin in. And she makes the flight from Flag to LA, and finally is confronted Marty Rathbun and Mike Rinder. And this part of the book felt awfully manipulative. And then it's so sad that David and Shelley completely turned on her. What a jarring change for her to experience. Yeah, I just don't like. Every time this girl turns around, they are snatching people away from her. Every single time, I was just infuriated. They full on manipulated her to stay in the Sea Org and then punished her for staying. Yes, they put everything on her shoulders. And then they punished her for it. It's just gross. It's just gross. I mean, first I realized that everything I'd just been through, the months of security checks, bathroom cleaning, the CMO EPF uniform, and separation from Martino and my friends was not because of something I had done, but because my parents were leaving the Sea Org. Can you imagine? All of a sudden? And then, oh, thank you, Mama. How are you doing? It is good to see you, girl. So not only had they been harassing her incessantly, they were doing it to cause her to leave. I know, Indigo. It is heartbreaking to hear her talk about wanting to please these people. I mean, it's It's so hard. You were encouraged by her getting angry at her parents, but her response to double and down and stay in was a bummer. Yes, yes, cricket. It was it was sad. It was sad. And but I understand. She's like, what, 14 or 15 here? Um, she's still really young. And honestly, they're letting her make decisions only when it suits them. She's not allowed to make any decisions in her life. Only when it suits them does she get to make a decision. Otherwise, all the control is taken from her. So they just manipulated. Yeah, exactly, Indigo. She didn't know people. She didn't know where she was going to go. I almost cried. Where is this paragraph? Where she talked about, they made her talk to her parents. They did all the stuff. Hold on. Where is it? It was the comments about school. Yes, her friends are more family than her parents were. Mhm. Yeah, well, here's one that's really valid. Now, after all those years of leaving me on my own, forcing me to fend for myself, and being absent from my life, suddenly they thought they were going to start making decisions for me? Right. Yes. Well, and I don't know, angry is a hard word. I can understand feeling desperately terrified as a mother. I can understand as a mother being desperately, desperately terrified. Um, there was oh, here it is. I didn't doubt my decision or the church, but I found myself picturing what life on the outside would be like. I considered what it would be like to have my own room with no post responsibilities and not having to work. Despite those thoughts, I kept getting stuck imagining myself in a public school, having to tell them that I was behind and being mocked for my ignorance. I remembered movies in which they always called on someone to answer questions in front of the whole class, and I imagined how humiliated I'd be. Then I thought about being sent to the school section until the light in my room went blurry and I finally fell asleep. That chapter and a half just broke my heart. It just broke my heart. Um, she could not Imagine that there would be kindness outside the church. Just devastating. It I'm looking at it's just you're going to be allowed so they let her talk to him. She gets all these more privileges. I don't know. Oh, cricket, right? Right? She's terrified of going into public school. Terrified of what that would mean for her. And to be fair, I think it would be hard on a Sea Org kid pulled out of the Sea Org as a teenager and just dropped into a regular public school. I think that would be really hard, really hard. Yes, she was set up to feel that way. Yeah, Reese is really ashamed of it, Cricket. Reese is really ashamed of it too, and it's it's something that really bugs her. Um, I think it's really awful when people feel inadequate because of their education, because education doesn't make anybody smart or not, or more valued or not. It's interesting that Jenna learned just on this call. Yeah, kids can be cruel, that's what I mean. It would have been really hard for her to mainstream into a regular school. That woulda she's not wrong to fear that. Um, so she has this conversation with her parents, and then she gets more interviews. As a reward for a job well done and deciding to stay and be loyal to the church, what does she get? More interrogation. More interrogation. So, chapter 23. Yes, Scooter Mom, that would have made a difference, but the culture shock. I think the culture shock would have been the bigger issue. rather than the education. The school would have needed to catch up the education, but I just our parents weren't thinking. They weren't thinking. And they were probably young and idealistic and thought they were doing the right thing. It's really sad. So then, she gets thrown into more interrogations and finds out that she's not gonna be returned to Flag, which is kind of exactly what her parents said, is that they're not gonna give you what you want. Um, so she's never gonna go back to Flag. Um, and she gets 2 new guardians. 2 new guardians who rip her belly button ring out with the pliers. Uh, the next morning, I was still sleeping when she busted into my room yelling, "Rise and shine." She was carrying a pair of pliers and headed right for me. "First things first, we are going to get rid of that belly ring. We are going to get that belly ring out once and for all." She demanded I stay put as she took the pliers to the stone on my ring, cracked it in half, and pulled the ring out. Yeah, exactly, Cricket, those 2. It's the constant drip of humiliation that gets me, you guys. Just, like, constant. It's and then she tells her she can't do makeup right and how to do her makeup so she looks better. Eh, she's not they were horrible. She's not allowed to talk to anybody. She's not allowed to do anything. She's required to eat. And this one blew me the fuck away. My first session with Mr. Hanson was called the Truth Rundown. I was required to do this one on the grounds that I had challenged Mr. Rathman on the morning that I had spoken to my parents. I had only questioned why they had ever been told that I would be leaving with them against my will, but the consequence of that was I now had to do a session of the Truth Rundown, a procedure to uncover the black PR, the bad propaganda, that I had been exposed to during my conversation with my parents. I think I need to quit being surprised when they're crazy. Quit being surprised when they're crazy. What does she say? Looking back now, I see it was the ultimate brainwashing technique. When I tried to insist to Mr. Rodriguez that my mother had most likely been telling the truth, as indeed Mr. Rathbun and Mr. Rinder were planning to send me on my way, she wouldn't hear any of it. Like, you have to deny, you have to deny the actual truth, and you have to do it repetitively. Um, it's just nuts. And then she has to do the PTSSP course because of her parents. And interestingly, she continues to refuse. I like how she calls out the times and the things that occur to her that make her question. I am glad she calls those things out. And at the same time, I want to shake her by her shoulders and say, girl, it's not getting any better. But of course, she doesn't. All she knows is this. I can't. Can you guys imagine this being all you know? This, what Jenna's talking about, can you imagine that being all you know? Like it is for Reese, like it is for Nora, like it is for Liz Gale and Liz Ferris. I mean, just insanity. Just insanity. Yeah, 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 cricket. Several times during the course, it even crossed my mind that I felt more suppressed by the organization. Even my Aunt Shelley had made me feel more invalidated than my parents. She would tell me that I was unethical or say preposterous things like I caused the downfall of the ranch. The outright crazy ass lies. It's excessive, y'all. And then she says, for the next few months, everything about my life was incredibly controlled. Concerned about the risks I posed, they were pretty much trying to reprogram me to ensure that I didn't discuss my parents and didn't use their departure to spread suppressive thoughts. She couldn't go anywhere. She had to have an escort everywhere she went, just to make sure that she wouldn't talk about what had happened to her, what her parents had done. It couldn't even be discussed. So it had to be altered, made not to be. Eh, yeah, I thought I was done being held prisoner when I had come to LA, but instead the reward for my loyalty was more punishment. It's ironic that the organization that says they don't practice disconnection destroyed their entire family. It's just- I What's amazing to me is they keep getting away with it. Hey, Lori, how are you, sweetie? You're on vacation, aren't you? Are you on vacation or did you just have the vacation? I know that you were going on vacation. Last time I saw you, it wasn't long until you had vacation, now that I think about it. No, I've seen you since then. I just forgot about the vacation part. The 19th. Okay. So still we're counting down the days. Okay. 2 more shifts. Yay. Excellent, Lori. Excellent. It's interesting the little tidbits that Jenna puts in here about how the um, RTC reps were the worst. The freedom I'd once enjoyed, nothing about this situation was unfolding as I thought it would. The freedom I'd once enjoyed at Flag prior to my parents leaving the Sea Org was gone, and it was hard to imagine ever getting it back. I had thought I was choosing between my parents and returning to Clearwater, when in reality I was choosing between leaving my friends to live with my parents and leaving my friends to live in LA. Neither option was what I'd wanted. So she didn't have a good option. I mean, they didn't give her a good option. They told her she would never see the people she loved again. And they kept taking the people she loved away. Perhaps the most frustrating thing about all of this was that regardless of the specific location, I'd chosen the church over my parents, and yet for that loyalty I was being punished. Rather than recognize my sacrifice by returning me to Clearwater, their response was to strip me of my freedoms and regiment my life. And then she starts to make friends with Mr. H, which gives her some sort of outlet. Um, um, and then she was allowed to do some some work outside the course room rather than just being on course. Um, she got to meet with a friend. She got a Christmas present, even though it was a miserable Christmas. Big Chief, how are you? It is always good to see you, man. Welcome in. How are things? And then after Christmas, she gets told that she's going to get a post. Hey, Bridge, how are you? It is good to see you. And they work her all up, and then they tell her she's going to be a word clear. But now she gets to eat with her friends. Good. I'm really glad, Big Chief. I'm really glad things are good. Sunrise Dawn, how are you? Room raid from Poe. That is excellent. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody from Poe's channel. It is so nice to see you, Mr. Poe. I hope you had an excellent live. Welcome in, welcome in. We are on chapter 23 of Jenna Miscavige's book. And she has just been appointed to be a word clearer after several months of interrogations and loss of freedoms because her parents wanted to leave, both before and after. Hi, Scientology Money Project. Do word clears begin on post by word clearing? That's a good question, Scientology Money Project. Do word clears begin on post by word clearing? I don't know, Jeffrey. Do you know the answer to that one? That is a good question. And then, like, it just continues to blow my mind. I now lived in the dorm with 5 other girls on the Hollywood Inn on Hollywood Boulevard. Our 20-foot square room. 5 girls in a room that was 20 square feet. I'm not even sure how that works. Was on the 8th floor of the berthing. Can 8 girls live in a room that's 20 square feet? There was no AC. The water temperature was either freezing cold or boiling hot. And the elevator didn't work. I mean, this poor kid. All right, Sunrise. Uh, I was told to count my blessings because the Holiday Inn, the Hollywood Inn, which was the birthing for CMO and executives, was nice compared to the Anthony Building on Fountain Avenue where the crew lived. And here's the key, y'all. Here's the key. Despite the yucky food and the birthing, I was so happy to have at least some sort of freedom where I could live with friends, eat with them, and not have to be escorted to the bathroom. That's how they keep control. They tamp down your freedom so hard, and then they give you these little bits of freedom, and you're so thankful for that taste that you trade all your other freedoms for the taste of a freedom that you should already have. It's I was given an office for use for my word clearing duties during the day. It was outfitted with a surveillance camera for Mr. H to view in her office so that she could make sure I wasn't stepping out of line. I still couldn't use the phone, and I was required to check in with Mr. H at least once a day. But things were starting to look up. I had many new friends. I mean, do you see the level of control that's being exerted on this child? And then she finds out her friends have been writing she finds out her friends have been writing and nobody even bothered to tell her. Nobody even told her that they were trying to communicate with her. Y'all. Y'all. And they read the letters and sent the kids. They read the letters and people got sent to ethics. I don't know, y'all. I get the same, I end up in the same place every week when we're reading this. I just end up angrier and angrier and angrier. I just, I don't understand. I really don't. So, that's the whole knowledge report thing is like eat people eating each other alive vibes, right, Bridge? It sure is. It absolutely is that. It's so icky. It is so icky. So let's take a break and chit chat for a minute, y'all. We can dive back into the last two chapters, but I find it is nice to have a small break in the proceedings because I just I get angry. I get angry. I can't believe that humans would treat other humans this way. I mean, the whole bit about all of the gossiping about what goes on at the Celebrity Center and how the RTC people take advantage of their position and power. It's just it's like they've got their own inquisition going all the time. And I suppose they sort of do. They haven't investigated. That's the Inquisition. The Inquisition is just the investigative arm of the church to find out if you're actually doing religion right. That is the Inquisition. Pretty sure. Let me check. We have the internet at our fingertips. The Inquisition was a judicial procedure and a group of institutions within the Catholic Church whose aim was to combat heresy, apostasy, blasphemy, witchcraft, and customs considered deviant. Exactly, Bridge. The behavior is promoted and praised. It is absolutely requiring people to say black is white and white is black and 2 + 2 = 5. And if you get them to say that, apparently anything is game. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So, how is everybody's weekend? How did everybody's weekend go? Is everybody ready to jump back into the week tomorrow morning? Is everybody having a good week? I know what we can do here for a minute for this. Let's let's I have a fun thing to do for our entertainment. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's my boy. Yes, my boy. Yes, you're gonna lick, 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 lick. No, no, no. No, stop. Come here. Oh, there he is. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. There he is. He can look at the camera. Oh, Susan, I'm so glad that you had a wonderful time. I'm sorry that it had to end too soon, but I'm really, really glad that you had a lovely time. You're starting, oh, that's excellent, Indigo. You're sleepy, sunrise, dawn. It is a little late in there. It's almost 10 o'clock. I can understand you being a little tired. Orion does not want to look in the camera. I don't, you guys, he just refuses. Look at that. Come on, Bubba. Give him a head on. Let him see your pretty freckled face. Hmm? Let him see your pretty freckled face. Yes, I saw that last night, Scooter Mom. You have show work to do for tomorrow? I hope you have plenty of time this evening to do that, Scooter Mom. And I'm really glad you guys had fun. You might have had a few drinks and sung karaoke with your sister more than once. Oh, Susan, that sounds so much fun. Oh no, Sunrise Dawn, what would give him an upset tummy? I'm really glad you had a good time, Susan. That is really good to hear. Really good to hear. Hey, Bubba. Hey, you. Hey, come on over here. Hey, hey, there. Okay, okay. You want it your way. I see. You want it your way. Everybody wants to see your pretty, pretty face. And you just want to lick my face. I don't want licks. Thank you. I don't want licks. Thank you. Anybody else got any great, amazing news? My my friend today agreed with y'all. I don't know if I mentioned this. She agreed with y'all that there is some, oh, Cricket, sleep well. We will miss you. We always miss you. Sleep well. Chirp, chirp. Susie, welcome in. Thank you for the support. It is appreciated. You spoke to an old friend today you hadn't spoken in 20 years. In the 1980s, she dated a guy whose family moved him to the States from Toronto. Yes, Lori? You sent her the picture of Gavin Potter of Scientology. It was him? Seriously? Wow, Lori. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. How weird. She's looking for old pics? Yeah, I bet she is. Orion, leave it. Come on. That is how random is that? Did you know that it was him? I mean, how did you guys make that connection that you showed her the picture, Lori? That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. No, get down. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. You weren't sure it was him. She reached out after years and I showed her the pic. Ah, it's so nice. Um, I'm really glad that you got a chance to reconnect with an old friend. That's always really fun. I yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to reconnect with an old friend. Like I said, I had a great time reconnecting with my good friend this morning. So she's sure it's him, but back then he had long hair. Wow. Has he changed his name, Laurie? Would he have had a different name? Am I missing something? I mean, would you know by his name? Or am I being too simplistic and missing something blatantly obvious? My nose is really itchy today, guys. It's been itchy lately a lot. I'm not sure. His name was Gavin Potter. Okay. So it's the right guy. Same name. Got it. How many of those could there be? The same height and the same build. Yeah. Same color hair and eyes. How many of those could there be? Well, that's cool. That's really cool. Anybody else have anything cool happen this week? You moved with family and said it was to start a musical career. Wow. Well, Scientologists and their stories, right? I'm doing a lot of flipping, and guys, am I blipping in and out? Is it better yet? Okay, maybe it's stabilized. I'm back. Yeah, just a moment. Just checking in with hubby about why my wireless is dropping off all of a sudden with no good reason. So, shall we jump into chapter 24 where she meets her hubby, Dallas? Um, let's dive in and see what we've got. Hmm? So she meets Dallas. She talks about he has to be a court of ethics, a goldenrod sheet. Um, and she talks about getting accused of flirting with a married guy and how if it hadn't been for Mr. H's short but sweet apologetic speech, disguised between her best attempts at trying to sound authoritative and formidable, I wouldn't have even done it, but would have just taken one for the team instead. Basically, she told me she knew I was a person who was friendly and outgoing with both sexes, and it was possible that something I had done had been taken the wrong way. However, she was still asking me to please confess and get it over with, for both our sakes, or take responsibility for the effect I had created. I was watching a show last night. Actually, the show's called Preacher, and it's very interesting, and it had a humorous little bit about Scientology in the first 3 or 4 shows that was kind of hilarious in context. Um, there was a scene in the show where a bunch of rednecks were playing, uh, paint paint tag? What's it called? Paint tag? Paintball? They were playing paintball. These rednecks were playing paintball with, um, a group of young women who lived in a brothel. And one of the women fell into a pit and died. And the speech that was given after was like, well, you boys should just know better and look at what happens when you're all rowdy. And you girls, if you're going to be out at night walking around, then you ought to look where you're going. And that is the feeling
that this just gave me. Like, you have to be responsible. Am I still back, guys? Have you been hearing me? All of a sudden, I've been talking along, and it occurs to me to worry that you can actually hear me. Okay, good. Um, it's just this gross feeling of being accused of sexual impropriety for no actual reason, right? I mean, like, no actual anything. And she's accused of sexual impropriety and has to take responsibility just because it's her body that was present, if that makes sense. You guys got that? Just gross. So she had to confess to that. And she gets a friend again. Her friend Molly shows up, and she can she confides in Molly about her parents. Yeah, it was a great stream last night, Scooter Mom. And then Mr. H tricks Molly into confessing something by telling Molly that Jenna had already that by telling Molly that Jenna had already confessed to the thing. And Jenna's response to all of this is to be touched by Molly's loyalty, which, to be fair, I'm touched by Molly's loyalty too. But how gross, you guys. How gross. Was Miss Kim's Scooter Mom? Was it Miss Kim's live? It was still nice. It was still nice. So she loses Molly. She loses Molly. Um, they both had to do amends for weeks on end, and then had to ask each member of the group to accept us back. This is just for confiding in a friend, y'all. This is for confiding in a friend. And then Molly was transferred so that she and Jenna couldn't see each other anymore. Like, and then, she starts seeing Dallas, which is really sweet. The story about their beginning. And then becomes her parents insisting on seeing her. So she gets produced um and told that she has to go spend the day with them. It's an interesting little aside here. She says, I wondered if Uncle Dave knew they wanted to see me. He never talked to me anymore aside from a Christmas card and a small gift. I hadn't had a conversation with Aunt Shelley in quite a while either. I could never understand why my uncle didn't talk to me about family business himself. Just a weird observation, right, guys? She doesn't know if she's ever going to be talking to her parents again, and she needs to spend a whole day with them. Fair roads, fair weather. And she goes a little bit into what her parents had to go through in order to make this happen, but she didn't know that at the time. I find it interesting that she's got a piece in there about Marty, um, and the piece about it might have been my imagination, but I figured senior executives were under pressure to do whatever my uncle told them to do. Pretty prescient of her, astute. And she has a weekend with her parents, right? And it went well. And they gave her a credit card, and she didn't even lie about it. Just say it is for emergencies. It's really, really interesting. It just seems like North Korea, you guys. It seems like our own little bit of North Korea right here in America. So then she talks about her romance with Dallas and how her relationship with Mr. H became a little bit like an older sister, younger sister, which was nice. And how one of the things she likes about Dallas was that his exposure had been so different and that he'd grown up like as a normal kid. Um, except for the lack of education after um yeah, he attended San Diego public school until 6th grade when a bad grade and sassing the teacher got him into trouble, and so then he went to the Scientology school. Very interesting. And so there's a lot about Dallas's background in Scientology and how she finally just tells Dallas everything about um, her family and that her parents had left the Sea Org. And she talks a little bit about the Celebrity Center and how differently celebrities were treated. Um, Dallas explained the celebrities who had come to the center were very human there. Some were quite nice and social, others were more reserved and didn't want to be bothered. In all, it was a mixed bag of attitudes. the differences are really interesting. She details some of the differences between the way celebrities are courted and the way public is courted, and I find it very interesting that there's so much more, shall I say, respectful of the celebrities that they have than they are of their general public. And I find it interesting. The end result of all of this, she says, was that the celebrity experience of Scientology was vastly different from what most Scientologists experienced. It was never entirely clear whether the celebrities knew the full extent of their special treatment or if they had any idea what life was actually like for the Sea Org members who waited on them hand and foot. It's like the celebrities forget that Scientology itself is putting on a show directly for them. And she talks about meeting Dallas's family and how lovely that was for her, and Dallas proposing, and how excited she was to start off with a family of her own. So that brings us to chapter 25, y'all. How many chapters are in this book? Let us double check that. We are getting close. Only 10 more chapters. So, we need to decide a few things. We need to decide how many chapters you guys want to do for next week. You want to go back to 2? You want to stay at 4? Do we want to get 3 in middle ground? How are you guys feeling about doing 4 chapters? Was it too much? Do we want to just do 3? Tell me what you think. And also, we flew right past the first Minnesota goodbye, and we are at the second Minnesota goodbye, y'all. Look at that. We didn't even have a first one, and we're at the second one. Zoom. Here we are. So, what do y'all think? 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 4 chapters? Give me a number, y'all. Yes, Lori, breaking my heart. All of it breaks my heart. It's a slog, y'all. It sure is a slog. So while you guys are thinking about how many chapters, the other thing, 3? I get that, Lori, but I wanna give a set number of chapters for people that we're gonna go through each week. Because some people want to read just according to what we're reading. And I know some people 3 chapters is a lot. Some people can read 6 chapters. So I think 3 sounds like a good number. We will do chapter 26, 27, and 28 next week. Let me write that down. 26 to 28. That's only 3 chapters. Oh, Lori, you're so sweet. Yeah, you can read as many chapters as you want. I don't want to go further than people have gone. I want to, we take our time. So the next question after that one is, do y'all have some thoughts about what book you would like to read next? Do you want to read a Scientology book? Do you want to read a different book? What do you guys think? Do you have any books in mind? Do you want me to come up with some suggestions? If you want me to come up with some suggestions, can you tell me, can we talk about what genres you want? Do you want to stay with Scientology autobiographies? What do you guys think? I am curious indeed. And y'all are definitely quiet tonight. My face tickles. I have tickles on my face. Oh, beats! Haha. Yes, you can join in. You are welcome to join in. We have just finished discussing. It's okay, Sunrise Dawn. You can come back and holler. You have a bunch of books? Okay. Come back and let me know once you've gotten her into bed. Bo Beats, you are welcome to join us. We just finished talking about Jenna's chapters 23 through 25 of her book, rather. And now we're just talking, we've decided we're going to read chapters 26 through 28 for next week. And we're starting to talk about what book we want to read next. Starting to talk about it. So, any of those things we are open to feedback on. I don't think we've formally met before, Bo Beats, so it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. I would like to read Liz Gale's book too. Let me write that one down. I think Red had a list of books we talked about at one point. Well, you're welcome to join us, Bo Beats. We are really informal here, so you don't need to wait. We'd love to have you now. But you can certainly wait until the next book begins too. I would like to read Liz Gale's book. Oh, Scooter Mom. I am sorry you're not feeling well. And absolutely, you need to take care of yourself if you're not feeling well and not do the Scooter report, because you taking care of yourself is the most important thing. The most important thing. So I am thankful that you are taking care of yourself. Making sure you talk a lot in lives and such, but haven't allowed yourself to get close to any other community members. But you're making an attempt at this connection thing? Well, we are all about the connection thing here in here, Bo Beats. We are pretty accepting of everybody. This is an open space. That doesn't mean it's a safe space. Please know that there is a difference. And I cannot guarantee that any space on YouTube is going to be a safe space. It is an open space. And all are welcome so long as you are friendly and kind and considerate. Those are the requirements. Yeah, I appreciate that, Scooter Mom. I'm really glad that you're not overdoing it. I know how hard it must be for you to cancel it. Um, so I am sorry for that. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Bo Beats, what's happened? I'm curious what's happened in your life recently that you want to try this connection thing. Because this connection thing is really pretty cool. I know you do, Scooter Mom. Of course you try not to cancel. I mean, of course you try not to cancel. It's your channel and it's your baby. And I'm gonna sneeze, y'all. I hate that. I hate that. You guys ever get that when you're gonna sneeze, you're gonna sneeze, you're gonna sneeze? And somebody says Gesundheit and steals your sneeze from you? So then you never even get to sneeze? Oh my goodness. It is the worst. It is the worst. Right? I hate it. I hate it. The sneeze just doesn't come and you're like it's awful. It's really, really awful. Really, really awful. Good. You thrive in unsafe spaces for the most part, but you promise to behave as being a lone warrior. Being a lone warrior is getting tiresome and lonely sometimes. It does get tiresome and lonely, Bo Beats. It's tiresome and lonely for everybody. Look up at a light when you want to let a sneeze out. I will try that next time, Bo Beats. That is interesting. Look up at a light when you want to let a sneeze out. I will do that next time. Is it not on Audible, Scooter Mom? You know, Bo Beats, I was gonna say that. Sneezes are a lot like orgasms, aren't they? They are a lot like orgasms. Sneezes and orgasms are exactly the same thing. That is too bad, Scooter Mom. Does that might put it out of the running. Um, I know that there are other members of the community that we need to make sure the book is on Audible for. Um, Interesting, Spock. Ooh, The Bad Cadet. Is that one on Audible, Bo Beats? Okay. I totally understand that, Scooter Mom. You're not the only one. So You are not alone in that requirement, so I will do my best to honor that, because as someone with my own learning disabilities, I completely understand. No, Bo Beats, you can read the book any way you want, but Audible, some people in the community, some people in my chat, um, need Audible in order to be able to read the book. And as far as I'm concerned, read the book, listen to the book exactly the same. Do it however you want. So it doesn't have to be Audible, but as we're discussing books that we read next, whether or not they're available on Audible is something that I want to consider, because I know that several people need Audible to read a book. And with my own learning disabilities, I completely understand that. It's not a problem. Scooter Mom, you're still gonna get you're getting the SGB shots, or you're gonna talk to your doctor about them? Where is that standing right now? I am hopeful. I am hopeful that if you get the shots, they will help your focus. I feel like I am in the same way. Well, I feel that I've got a little bit focus. We read a few chapters per week, Bo Beats. You're scheduled for October 8th. Okay. That's right. You told me that, Scooter Mom. Counting the days, I expect. Bo Beats, if you see the heading of the video, I put what chapters we're going to be discussing, and I scheduled the lives ahead of time. So you can go to my community tab, or not my community tab. You can go to my subscribe page, my homepage, and see the lives scheduled, usually about a week beforehand. And it'll tell you in the heading of the one coming up what day and time it's going to be. They're always on Sundays at the same time, 6 p.m. my time, and what book and what chapters. Really, Susan. I've been thinking about that and wondering if that was a thing. Oh, Beats, it was a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. You are welcome back anytime. Sunday nights, 4 book clubs, same time every week. We welcome you in. Susan, you might be right. You might be right. It does feel like I'm a little more focused. Like, I can switch out from one thing. I can switch out from one thing to the next. I can transition better. I don't know. It's so many funny little things that are hard to explain. If it's really doing, if the treatment is really doing what it appears to be doing, I don't know, it's pretty overwhelming. Nothing else has worked this much. Thank you, Bo Beats. I appreciate that. It's Very kind of you to say. My intention is for people to be able to come in here and feel welcomed and refreshed and like it's, the corner joint that you just feel at home in. That's my goal. That's my goal. I hope you have a great evening. Okay, you guys, we are rolling up on the third Minnesota goodbye here. It is coming up awfully quick. It is coming up awfully quick. Who do we think we might see? We haven't seen Fuzzy. We haven't seen Brain Fog. We haven't seen No Face. We haven't seen Retired Red. I am just curious. There's always somebody who shows up after the third Minnesota goodbye. Checking out where the kitties are. We haven't seen DOA as a fraud. No, we have not seen fraud. So many people we haven't seen. Fraud is a good bet. That is a good bet. No Face shows up around this time often. Yeah. Ha! I know, Face. Have you been lurking? Have you been lurking, No Face? Or did you just hear us talking about you? No Face for the win, indeed. No Face for the win, indeed. You guys are so much fun. And really, you guys, I know maybe Fraud will still show up. I mean, Fraud did kind of sneak in under the wire. Haven't really called third goodbye yet. But should we let them have it? What do you guys think? Hadn't really called it yet. Should we let No Face have it? Where you been, No Face? And what did you have for dinner? You always have the best meals. My computer is dinging away. Dinging away. Okay, do you guys have any other thoughts for books? Would you like to read? Okay, let No Face have it. No Face for the win. Okay. No Face, do you want a crown or a trophy? Which one do you want? Ah, ah. So you really were number 3, No Face. That is excellent. We were taking bets about who it was going to be. Your name had come up. Your name had come up indeed. Pretty funny. You came in just in time. Just in time. Ooh, barefaced Messiah. Well, Mr. Nice Guy, thank you for that. Um, I'm writing all these down, Scooter Mom. Barefaced Messiah would be a good one to do. I really love that one. Um, I mean, I haven't read it, but I love the idea of it. How's that? Uh, I love the idea of a book. Is that, well, yeah. My question, crowns and trophies, indeed, Susan. Indeed. They're all sitting there on the table for you, No Face, for you to pick which one you find the most. See, No Face? You make me almost want it. Caribbean jerk marinade chicken, nice. Asparagus and mushrooms. I'll take the mushrooms, but please not the asparagus. Parmesan noodles, nice. We are having very simple sausage ravioli with Alfredo. As soon as I am, as soon I'm making dinner after we finish the live. So we are just having simple sausage ravioli and Alfredo sauce. Yeah, No Face's meals always sound amazing. No Face is an intriguing character. You got any drinks? Drinks at the bar for tonight, No Face? Any ideas for a drink special for tonight? Now that we're wrapping up, we can all have maybe a hot toddy, a Spanish coffee. Oh, Sunrise, she will stop. She will stop. She's probably overtired. You know that. You're experienced. Children. I was over at my friend's and she's got 3 teenagers and an almost 2-year-old. Um, Margarita time. There you go, Lori. A good stiff whiskey. You like it neat or on the rocks, Sunrise Dawn? Deep breath. Yeah, deep breaths indeed. So the 2-year-old was so tired. She was so tired. She did not want to go to sleep. She fought and fought and fought and fought. Oh my goodness gracious. So hard. Poor little thing. And finally passed out in about 2 seconds. Well, stop telling her to stop doing things, Sunrise Dawn. Tell her to keep doing it. Don't stop. You pass your crown to Susan P. Keep it safe until you win it back. Okay, No Face. Okay. Can you guys hear? The neighbors play their music so loud. Can you hear that? Tell me you can hear that. Let me see if I can turn the gain up. Yeah, tell her she has to stay up all night and Well, I gotta read which one is the gain. Hold on, y'all. Hmm. Well, I'm not going to mess with any of these buttons. If you guys can't hear it, you can't hear it. It is so loud. It's like, it's just, and it's deep bass. Yeah, the noise ordinance, Amy, the noise ordinance, I checked, it's like 10 p.m. There is no noise ordinance beyond no noise after 10 p.m. So there is nothing that says at 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday, it can't, I mean, there's nothing that's illegal for them to have music that shakes my house. Nothing illegal about that, unless it's after 10. Ah, there you go, Sunrise Dawn. There you go. That one's good. Orion needed a treat, y'all. So is that going to work? They were blasting until after 10 p.m. You didn't care if he was an ex-NFL player. You called it was almost 11. I would, if they were breaking the law, Amy, oh my goodness, if they were breaking the law, I would call on them in a second. I totally looked into the noise ordinance for exactly that reason. And there's not a thing I can do. So the only thing I can really do is walk around the neighborhood when it's happening and figure out which house it's actually coming from and knock on their door and ask them, please, would they please not play the bass so loud that it shakes my house? Wow. Voice chatting would be nice, wouldn't it, Lori? Maybe I'll start doing a panel. Would you guys like it if I did a panel? Because you can come on and not have to turn your camera on, guys. You can come on and not have to turn your camera on. Maybe that's something I could do as a members only. Yes, Scooter Mom. I think they may not be aware. I hope that they're just naive. I It's been going on for months now, and unfortunately, I'm the only one in the family who it really bothers. I am the only one with a heightened sensitivity to this type of noise. So the rest of you guys can't hear it. It's so loud and it's literally shaking the house. And yes, I keep picking at my face because it keeps feeling like there's a hair on it. You called anonymously? Yeah, you can totally do that. You're the only neighbor who gets irritated? Yeah, Scooter Mom. That's really hard when that's the case. I did have a hair on my face. I had a fuzzy on my face. Gray goose, oh, no face. Have I told you lately that I love you? You are simply amazing. I'm glad your daughter was annoyed with the music too, Amy. Isn't that validating when it bugs somebody else? Okay, let's see. Grey Goose vodka, Bailey's Irish cream, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, fresh strawberries and ice in a blender. Oh, no face. Yeah, that'll calm us all down, won't it? No face. Excellent. Used to have some neighbors that would blast music every weekend and had parties every weekend. What's up, Orion? What's up? You want to see everybody again? Doesn't it sound well? I asked for an after dinner drink, didn't I, Sunrise Dawn? Scooter Mom? Come here. Come here. Come on. Okay. What did you want? Did you want to come see everybody again? No face is here. Hmm? No, don't lick my face. I want to have a face, not to have a face. I'm not no face, so don't lick my face. Yeah, I want it too, no face. Heard that the time you flooded your apartment, you're a good neighbor. Yeah. I mean, we're not in the city limits. We're in the county, so there's less enforcement. No, not my face. No, not my face. Please. Hi. Hi. Yes, that's no. Seriously? Just me. Yeah. Okay. That's enough. Between you and soda, between you and no, licks. That's a good boy. Yes, that's a good boy. Yes. Yes, that's a good boy. Hmm? Yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah. Is him a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. You're a pretty boy. Mhm. You're a pretty boy. You gonna show him all your freckles now? That's a good boy. Show him all your freckles. Mhm. Yeah. Sweet boy. No licks. No. No licks. Okay. Stop. Thank you. That 2025, thank you, Scooter Mom. 2025 SPTV Furry Friends calendar with Orion. You know what, Lori? That is actually not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. We've got Orion and Soda, and we've got Mona and Jasper, and all of Sunrise's cats, and we've got uh Brain Fog's cats, and we've got We've got so many, we could totally do a calendar like that. We could totally do a calendar like that, even as a little fundraiser. Wouldn't it be fun? That would be kind of fun, guys. What do you think? Is there a market for that? Do we think? It can't take too much to a dog version and a cat version. You think so, Lori? Your little diva Tuffy? Marilyn's pups? Yeah. We've got more pups than we can include. Gertie and Bo. Well, let's see what comes of that. That's a lovely idea. Moose, Squirrel, and Kid. Yeah. No Face. Send me a picture. In fact, if you want to send me a picture right now, No Face, I will show it to everybody. Send me a picture to my email. I can show it right now if you want. Scotch is sort of snooty. Soda is not snooty. Yeah, send me a picture, No Face. I'll show it. Anybody else want to show a picture? We've got a couple of more minutes to fill. I have a soda cat, guys. Would y'all like a soda cat? I seem to have a soda cat. Oops, sorry, guys. Okay, Scooter Mom. Make sure to get the 3 N's in the email, guys. There's Tuffy. Okay. Let's see. Aww. Let us show this baby. No, wrong, that button. Um, Hold on just one moment, y'all. Okay. Yay! Sunrise, dawn. Yay! Now let me show you. There we go. Look at that. There's Tuffy. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. Yes. Total sweetie. There's there's Scotch up close and personal, y'all. Up close and personal. Okay, guys. No face. Were you gonna get me that picture this time? Or do we want to wait until you sent me a pic on Messenger? Okay, Sunrise. Okay, let me share this screen. I was so to Sunrise Dawn, but yes, up close and right into the screen. So this is Sunrise Dawn's Oreo. Look at that one. Absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. Okay, y'all. No face. As soon as I get your picture, I will show it, even if it's the next stream. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to do it tonight. Isn't she a cutie? Oh, there it is. It just showed up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No face. Oh my goodness. Here we go, guys. Yeah, I saw Miss Sunrise Dawn. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. I want that belly. Oh my goodness. I want to know, does she let you into that belly? Does she allow belly hug rubs? I need to know. I need to know. That is the most adorable thing. So cute. Look at that nose, y'all. Just look at that nose. Okay. No, wrong one. No, this one. Yeah, that's the one I want. Yes. Okay, now Need to stop it again. Oh my goodness, the noise, you guys, is just. Her name is Who, and she is an upside down cat. Tell me more about upside down cat. Does Who allow belly rubs? Because I gotta get in that belly, no face. That is a belly. Look at these two from Sunrise Dawn. Oh my goodness, y'all. Wow, Scooter Mom. Orion! I lost the dog, y'all. Come here, puppy. Come on. Look at those two. Come here, Orion. Look at how adorable they are. Thank you, Lori. I would like that. It's just, I can't be on this side of the house. It's so loud for me. So loud. I got the dog back. Yes, Orion is getting jealous of all the cat pics. That is exactly what happened, no face. He is getting jealous. Yes, they do have a mischievous look about them. The guy on the left is planning something. Indeed, they are adorable, Sunrise Dawn. So sweet. So sweet. Squiggy is your kiddo's cat. I love Lenny and Squiggy for names for the two of them. It's very. Are they actually out of the same litter? Sunrise? Are they actually twins out of the same litter? I love short-haired domestic gray tabbies. They're one of my favorite. Squiggy is the more mischievous. What's. Hey, stop. Stop. Okay. Okay, y'all. I gotta make dinner, which means I need to get going if we're gonna eat anytime tonight. You have their mom, uncle, and two sisters too. Wow. Well, now I got another picture from No Face. Let me. Oh, No Face, you're killing me here. You are killing me here. Y'all are killing me. Rascal. Okay, one last time. One last time. There we go. She is a beauty. She is a beauty. And I think you're a pretty good photographer, No Face. I think there's some skill with the camera there too. Yeah. That is an excellent photo. Yeah. That is an excellent photo. I think that is a note to end on. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yes, she is. She is something else again. Yes, an excellent photograph. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to hear from No Face that they're hearing all of this before we close up. She's definitely a beauty. That one's a keeper. How big is she, No Face? How much does she weigh? She looks like she's a tiny little thing. She looks like she is so petite, especially compared to Soda, who is a lump and a half. Yes. Have a great night, everybody. No Face, leave it in the comments. Hugs and hugs to all of y'all. Have a good night. And I will see you Wednesday night for Wednesday Wheel of Carrie, if not before. Thanks, Lori. Hugs and hugs, y'all.